Okay, gentlemen, there's a 20-minute lag here, so let's get started, or 20-second lag. I'd like to say good afternoon to everybody here and welcome them to the Etho Protocol first AMA. And on our third birthday in 2018, on May 23rd, the blockchain was launched. And it's been a great ride, and we're excited to meet everybody here today and give you a chance to interact with our team and ask some questions. We have a very light agenda today. We want to make this a very informal AMA and just let you get to meet the team. So the agenda today is going to be straightforward. I'm going to introduce the team. Each team member is going to have a little introductory statement, talk about themselves a little bit. Then we're going to roll into a vision statement given by James, the founder, talk about where we like the project to go. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the exchange listing. We know that's on everybody's mind. And after those formalities are out of the way, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go into the Q&A session. We have some questions that were presented by our community that we have written down, and we'll go through that. And we'll also go through live questions, time permitting, on the YouTube channel. And by the way, once again, my name is Chris. I go by Hash Rates. My online name, you may see me in our social media as Hash Rates. And my responsibilities here are to do business development and things like this. So with further ado, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start in alphabetical order today. And we're going to go with Ethan as part of our team. Ethan, the floor is yours, sir.
Hey, thank you very much. Okay, so my name is Ethan. I'm from Durban, South Africa. You'll see me around, and my role at Etho One is sort of a little bit of a broad role. So I do a little bit of development, manage some of our systems. I even, work on our social media side of things, as well as some partnerships. Thank you.
All right, Exlo, you're next.
Hi, I'm Exlo from Norway, part of the Etho Black team. Initially started as a simple miner in 2018 and have grown within Etho ever since.
Very well. James.
Hey, I'm James. I am founder of the project and core developer at Etho Black. Born and raised in California, spent most of my life living and working in Northern California, just north of San Francisco. Main responsibilities of the project are working on mainnet and core development, file system usability and adoption, which has me currently focusing on the SDK build out and helping facilitate some of our upcoming partnerships.
Very well. And the newest member of our team, Frank.
Hi, my name is Frank. I go by Legacy TRX on Discord. I'm programming JavaScript, little, work with Node.js. I'm the newest one here in the team, and I'm looking a little bit at back-end work. I help stabilizing a little bit our Explorer. And the latest thing I'm doing is looking at this info, ethoprotocol.com, which should be basically a collection of dashboards around, Etho Protocol. Back to you, Chris.
All right. Thank you, Frank. All right, James, would you like to talk about our vision statement as the founder of this wonderful project?
Yeah, just a little bit about the project in general. First, today's kind of a special day because it is the third anniversary of our Genesis block. 3 years of constant development and growth, has been good for all of us. The project was originally named Ether One back in 2018, and we recently rebranded to Etho Protocol. But the project itself came from a desire to fully exploit the power of blockchain and decentralization to further free speech and anti-censorship and help with progressing kind of democratic ideals. Very few projects have actually been able to push these limits of pure decentralization. And that's kind of what keeps us all building and moving forward towards some of these goals of ultimately free speech. The project itself was kind of a colorful past. We've gone through many highs and lows. The first year, we scratch built a decentralized file system and node network. Second year, we were highly security centric, defending against 51% attacks and security upgrades. And then kind of our, third and fourth years going forward are really prioritizing partnerships and utility. So which kind of brings me to what is the future of the project? What are we working towards? And in a single word, it's adoption, right? We've built this platform, spent all this time and effort building out this decentralized storage file platform with the ultimate goal of having people use it. So 2021, 2022 is going to be highly, we're going to be prioritizing adoption and usability and partnerships. We've got several in the works, and ultimately what we've done really doesn't do anything for us unless we bring on a big user base and allow people to use what we've got built.
Excellent. Thank you for that. I just want to chime in here and let everybody know that, our team is bigger than what you see here today due to some other personal issues. We've got folks all over the planet. We've got folks they've got some issues with somebody sick in the family and that kind of thing. But we want to thank Alex for being on board. He's new to the team. He's going to help me with marketing. He's amazing. Right now in chat, we have Pistol. You've known her. Pistol's been with the project since day one. She's absolutely dynamite, and she's an important part of who we are and how we got here. And I want to thank her for everything she's done. And she's in chat right now helping out. She didn't make the video feed. She's, I think, traveling or something. I'm not sure, but she's online, and we appreciate that. Also, Diley is one of our main developers. He's also rock solid. We have Treehouse. His name is Mark. He's also on board. You'll see him chiming in as well. He's kind of more on the back business development side. He was one of the early helpers. I guess, James, maybe with you could chime in just a little bit about Mark so we can give some credit to these other team members that we have that are so important to what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, several of the people you just mentioned, Mark, Pistol, I mean, Ethan, they've all been here since Genesis Block, since day one. Several of them started as miners, running and facilitating mining pools, and then eventually became, community moderators and assisted in various ways, and then kind of organically grew into huge contributors and members of the Etho team, which kind of really shows you how we grow as an organization. It's completely organic, and people contribute and join us because they want to join us and help us build towards these goals.
Excellent. I say that as well. And it's funny. I mean, one of the things we wanted to discuss today was how do we find Ether 1, right? And now Etho Protocol. And I was a miner, right? That's my name, hash rates. I was out mining all the at hash coins I could, and I found this little project. And I'm like, oh, I'm mining away, having fun doing my mining. And I said, well, let's find out what I'm mining, right? Versus just trying to find the best return. And started to read about the project and the usability and the censorship-free hosting and the decentralized platform. And that's when I decided that I wanted to be part of this. I mean, I was just blown away by the solution that we have. And it's a powerful statement. And so I've also been here as well. And I found it mining. So it's kind of fun that mining has brought some people to the project. All right. One of the things as we get into the Q&A, of course, that's the top on everybody's mind is this whole exchange listing. And James has been spearheading that. So rather than getting tons of those questions, James, why don't you just go ahead and get that one out of the way for us, please?
Well, so just some general things about what working towards what we're doing with this listing and future listings. This whole process is working with centralized exchanges is very difficult, time consuming, and there's a lot of unknowns. But currently we're going through several audits, legal, technical, and security, and they're progressing. We work with our exchange partners in giving them what they need so we can progress with this process. But even beyond that, listing in one place is not our goal. Our goal is to list and be shown in multiple places this year, because ultimately what an exchange listing or even just a service listing gives us is more eyes on the project, which actually facilitate what we're trying to do is adoption. So we will continue pursuing these and hopefully have things progress as rapidly as we can, because I'm impatient like everybody else. But ultimately, they are helping us facilitate adoption for the overall project, which is what we all want to see.
All right, very well. Thank you for addressing that. And I would just like to chime in as business development. You know, our number one goal for us to be successful, which we're focusing on, everybody here, is adoption of the solution. You know, we all know, we were all laughing today. We said, what a day to do the AMA with crypto getting hammered, right? And so while the price may be down, or our price or Bitcoin and others, while that's an important part of what we do, we want the crypto to go up for everybody. That's not our main focus. We're not here to try to pump the crypto. Every day we come to work, that's certainly not my goal, is to try to pump the price. My goal is to get adoption, to get people using the system, and to work with partnerships like James said. So, you know, we may have some down days, we may have some up days, but recognize that everybody's been working here for years, I mean years, to make this a business solution that's being adopted worldwide. And today, more than ever, with what's happening with the cancel culture and big tech in California deciding who can tweet and who cannot tweet, or what website will host or not, I mean, Etho Protocol is the answer against that. And our solution is needed more than ever. So, you know, that's what I focus on a daily basis, is trying to have adoption. We'll be having some press releases and some announcement coming out soon, as we're bringing on some new partnerships. And as we build that mass and that momentum, the price will take care of itself. So recognize, we're not here to drive the price. We're here to drive the solution. At least that's my vision. Frank, would you like to comment on that? Do you have any comments on that topic?
No, I totally agree, right? And, you know, we will address that a little bit later. I mean, I think we have really a solid foundation, and actually a quite unique solid foundation also. So I think there is space for us to grow. The really important thing is getting partners on board and facilitating the great tech, you know, all the team has put together. So I think this is great. I think I want to, you know, since I'm the last one really joining here, right? So I think I have been in other crypto projects, and I must say the welcome culture in this project is really great. I mean, from the start, you know, even if you come from outside, I mean, what you're saying or what you're contributing is really appreciated. And I think there are not a lot of, I mean, there are a lot of, you know, toxic projects out there. I think this is really, you know, compliment to the team, really. I mean, it's cool. It's fun to work with them.
I know, we're glad to have you here. Ethan, you've been here since day one. Any comments about what you've seen in the trajectory that we've had since the day you showed up here?
Absolutely. So I originally joined the project working alongside a team that was building a miner. So that's how I found out about Ether One, and you know, came in, and most of the OGs will remember this. It was like our very first launch was a failure, to be completely honest. And we bounced back, and we came back, and we had a solution to the problem. And that's what Ether One and now Etho Protocol is all about. Finding a solution to the problem and always pushing forward and striving for innovation.
Thanks for that.
That's a good point. Look, just talking about the first day on what we kind of did. You know, when Ethan was there, Mark was there, Pistol was there. There were some others that are part of the team now that were there. You know, we worked very hard in building out some of the platform even before launch, and then that first public launch fell flat on its face. And then, you know, this really highlights the drive behind the team is, you know, everybody talked about, well, should we try again? Should we push forward with this? And then, you know, 3 days later, we launched successfully. And here we are 3 years later, and we're absolutely flourishing. The team's growing, the project's growing, and everything's working great. So it just shows you that when everybody works towards a goal and wants the same thing, nothing can really stop you. Very
well. Exlo, I know you don't like to talk so much. If you'd like to say something, great. If you don't, that's fine too.
No.
That's fine. Our favorite team member here, Exlo, he's man a few words, but when he does speak, it's very nice. So very well. Okay, well, why don't we go ahead and then get into some Q&A. I know that Pistol's working the chat forum right now. I see a couple things come in. that are some technical questions, but I want to go ahead and start out with some more general questions. One of the first questions we have here, and Frank, this one we're going to hand to you, is any two reasons why Etho is better than Filecoin?
So a great question, and I could maybe say this and out of that reason, but I think we should start a little bit differently. I mean, if you look at Filecoin or Coin and so forth, right? I mean, Filecoin has, you know, I think like 70 million supply. I think today's value, even after the crash, is $62. So it's almost similar from that perspective, right? We are, I think, today at 10 cent or 7 cent. I mean, depending on where you look.
Time of day.
Yeah, exactly. What time, a minute of the day, actually, at the moment. But I think, you know, we are in the same area, but I think it shows what kind of potential there is for Etho to grow. And I think I see Filecoin and Coin and so forth more like, I mean, they have been there, they have plowing and doing some good work. I think we have the better tech. I think, as you know, we have IPFS and we are fully EVM compatible, which is the Ethereum virtual machine. And I think this is really where we are differentiating towards those coins. For me, nowadays, it's, although we have these differences, the really big important part is getting the adoption. And, you know, with a combination of IPFS and EVM, I think we have a killer product. So now it's just going forward and trying to do something out of it. And I think that is the big focus. Generally, I would not say that we should, you know, bash one or the other coins. I mean, they have reasons why they are there. But I think we have really, like I said, you know, a killer proposition.
Okay, Ethan, next question's for you, sir. It says, is the NFT marketplace a focus? If so, why not? But why don't you go ahead and take that?
So my day job, right? I work with NFTs all day, every day kind of thing. And one of the things I've found working sort of in this field is that our value proposition to NFTs is killer. It's one blockchain, extremely cheap gas fees. You know, the hosting is built right into the chain kind of thing, you know, for hosting the images and the metadata of an NFT. So definitely our value proposition is there. Do I think that we should be building an NFT marketplace? It's a little bit of a tough question to answer. So definitely we could build out something basic and simple to use to get people sort of, or businesses onboarded, you know, a basis or a starting point. But do I think that we have plans to build out like a fully fledged marketplace? I don't think it's the right road to go down. I think that we should focus rather on building the road than the car.
Yeah, we often use that analogy that Etho Protocol is a road and we let people build cars. So we would like to be able to help people build the NFT platform or the NFT marketplace, for example. Would that be a correct statement?
Yeah, exactly.
Very well, very well. All right, James, here's a question for you. It's a technical question, and I didn't want to field these so much, but since you seem to know a little bit about tech around here, we'll give you this one. It says, when will the database be added into hosting Etho so users can host more dynamic websites? And I know for me in business development, this question about dynamic data comes in, you know, we talk about it all the time. How would you like to address that, please?
Yeah, well, so that question, it's even broader than databases. So first, let's kind of define what dynamic websites are, right? Dynamic websites, in the way people in this question, and most people are referring to them, is websites that you know, they process data on the back end. They save state for logins, etc. That wouldn't necessarily be usable on the front end because it's got to be kept private. So the question of, are we going to deploy a database so some of these state variables can be saved on the back end of websites, is it's two parts. One, there are open source solutions currently available to deploy databases on IPFS networks. And in particular, ours, with kind of the recent advent of the SDK, would facilitate one of these open source databases to be easily deployed now. But does that really solve the problem of facilitating some of these more dynamic type websites being deployed on our network? It would fix some of the pieces, but it wouldn't fix a lot of the login issues and some of the private variables that need to be addressed. Those need to be addressed more on the blockchain side. So with IPFS and our data network combined with blockchain, you can, in its current state, build very dynamic websites. You just got to look at them from a different point of view. You can't just drag and drop an old, classical PHP backend website onto the network and have it work. You got to look at it from a different point of view, modify where you would save some of that data and utilize the blockchain for some of that private stuff. So kind of in summary is, will we at some point in the future have ways to facilitate some of this more dynamic ability for some of these website deployments? We will, as partnerships come in, we will try to facilitate some of those tools, yes. But ultimately, if somebody had the desire to do it right now, you could deploy it with enough creativity.
All right, very well. Frank, question for you. Are you planning to expand marketing, collaboration with YouTubers, influencers, people who have a big following crypto niche in order to spread word about the Etho protocol?
I think definitely. And I think that is something which we, we have regular meetings, we have agreed. And I mean, like you said, Alex will onboard the team. We need to do more in marketing. Then I think the question you need to ask yourself, I mean, you can very easily, spend $10,000 and just, distribute the money. Is that the right strategy? And I think the discussion we had so far is no. I think we rather would like to have a collaborative approach. You probably have seen Crypto Rich, right? He is one of the YouTubers who has been really engaged with the coin, is interested to learn about it, and also, is a great advocate in general for crypto. So I think we rather would like to go down that road to build collaborations. I mean, maybe one day when we are big, I think this is also something which I think we will remember, the people who really reached out to us and wanted to work with us. So I would say that is probably the path we would be interested to go down. So if you are interested in this coin, propagate it and be part of the success, definitely reach out to us. I don't know, James, if you want to add anything.
I mean, it just highlights the whole idea of first off, crypto marketing itself can be a black hole for capital. The only way a project of our size will be successful with any sort of marketing is organically built from within. And creating partnerships and co-ops with people like Crypto Rich and I mean, if you look at the larger partnership we have with BPSAA and all those other projects out there, that's the type of organic marketing growth we need to build that's sustained and will grow with us over the perpetual growth of Etho itself.
Yeah, I would like to chime in on that for Crypto Rich, and thanks for bringing that up, Frank. I mean, he is just a diehard fan. He's been here for a long time. Also, we need to talk about the BPSAA, right? I forgot to even bring that in, what they've been doing for us. And Dreth and the guys at Pirate Chain. Dreth is the CEO, the chairman of the BPSAA. I guess I'll take that tangent now, right? Might as well. The BPSAA, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's an industry association. I'm proud to say that Etho Protocol was a founding member along with Sentinel, Pirate Chain, and also Turtle Network. The four of us started this thing back in 2019. the idea was to be able to bring together small projects such as ours, unify together to have a better presence, and try to bring quality to this space, because we all know the micro space or the alt space, the altcoin space can be a pretty brutal place. There's a lot of bad actors here. And so we wanted to work with other teams that we felt were the best of the best. And Drake, who's the lead over there and who's the president of the association, the guy is out of control. He works so hard on everybody's behalf. And we brought together this organization. I'm happy to say now with more members, we're up to 8 or 9 members. We went from 30,000 Twitter followers in the association to 500,000 now collectively at the BPSAA. The website's bpsaa.vision. Anybody that's involved in crypto, if you don't follow what's going on there, you're crazy. It's the best of the best projects, and we have to talk about that. And I represent Etho Protocol there. I'm also a board member of the BPSAA, and it's my pleasure to work with such a professional group. And they're going to help do a lot to help not only our project but others. But my point with that, the tangent there, is with Rich is also following them. And Rich has been great because he's brought in others. Like, for example, I want to say a special thanks to Spencer Taring. Spencer did a very, very nice video on us. He's now following it. So not only is Rich, we talk about this YouTube question here that I had you answer, Frank, is that we have YouTubers are doing it organically, right? We're not paying for this, folks. These are people that love our project. Rich is now running his own node. They believe in it. And that's the kind of people we want to work with. To go dump, $25,000 on a pump and dump video, we're just not going to do that. And when we get people like Spencer, we get people like Rich, and Rich is bringing on other YouTubers that he has respect for. It's good for us. So we will work with YouTubers, but we're not going to go out and buy views. We're just not going to do that. But we will continue to look for them organically. Anybody want to follow up on that? Or are you okay with that, team?
That's good. That sounds good.
Okay. Let's see. Next question. I guess, Frank, if you want to talk about, do you have any plans for a decentralized Twitter?
Well, yeah, I have it just in my pocket, right? I think, let's go back a little bit to what Ethan was saying about the street and costs, right? I think we are, team which really is focusing on the essential parts. Just building Twitter can, or something like Twitter is, an enormous thing. We believe that we really want to provide IPFS combined in blockchain technology. That is the main mission. Now, it's a great thing to talk about here is the blockchain, right? And IPFS, and then people want to understand, okay, how can I use it? So I think we are looking into building so-called proof of concepts so that you can actually see how it would work. Will it be the Twitter? Probably not. Will it be in the chat space at all? I think the discussion we have ongoing at the moment is more that we probably should work more in the NFT space, because there we have experience, and Ethan has mentioned that he has a lot of experience from that space. So maybe we start there. But I mean, that's something we will basically navigate going forward. What is really important to really build something out now that, shows, that we are that GAM people are looking for, right? And I think we are pretty confident that we can do that.
All right, I'm just reading some of the chat here, and I'm going to just fire this one off. We have Sirkan Aral asking live, when's the exchange listing? If you got in a little late, we talked about that. We're working on it. There's regulatory issues, there's legal issues. It's in the hopper. Of course, with all the activity lately, with the market activity, the exchanges are busy. And as James said, we don't want to just list on one top exchange. We're looking for others. So it's in the works. We don't control the timeline, and we addressed that earlier.
Yeah, I maybe just to comment on that one, right? Because I think we have seen that question quite often. I think we should also recognize we are actually a real blockchain. We are not a token, because a token is very easy to list, because Ethereum has been proven a couple of times already, right? But I mean, we actually need to, go. I know James has, spent the last nights on that. So I think there's more work for us to do than, for instance, others. So people wondering sometimes, right?
Yeah, I actually want to talk about that, and that's a great point. We get a lot of people coming over, right? Let's say the newbies, right? We've all been doing this 5 or 6 years, some of us longer. And in the old days, everything was a coin. And now with Pancake Swap and Uniswap, you have tokens. In 5 minutes, you can execute a contract, and you have a compatible token that can be listed anywhere because there's no technology behind it. We're an actual coin. We are a blockchain. You can launch your own token on us. I've got the Chris token floating around on Etho Protocol when I got started a while back. So you can actually build tokens on us. We are a platform. And so therefore, because we are a platform, our platform has to have diligence done technically. We're not just a token. So that's why we're not on Pancake Swap. While we have some bridges and some swapping capabilities, and we wrap our Etho, and I don't want to get too technical on people here, we have the ability to play in that space. We're really not there because we're our own solution. We are our own coin. Again, we're a coin, not a token. And there's a big, big difference technically. With speaking about tech, Ethan, a couple questions for you here, kind of go in hand. Etho seamlessly convert to Google Chrome users to Etho users. And again, a browser plugin for Chrome, Firefox, Edge, enable an IPF address in a browser. So kind of 2 in the 1, I guess some browser extension ideas. Would you like to comment on that, please?
So it's not that simple, right? So Google Chrome is a browser and it relies on legacy web technologies. So one of the things that we did when we first created EthoFS is we made sure that our technology was backwards compatible with the legacy web, right? So, you can head over to data.ethoprotocol.com and view your hashes and your content through our gateway on a legacy web browser. Do I think that we need to, convert Google Chrome users? Absolutely not. Instead, we need to be able to integrate with Google Chrome users. You're not going to make people want to switch browsers just so that they can access content, right? I mean, that's like asking people to stop using Microsoft Edge to download Chrome. It's just not going to happen. So instead, we need to stay backwards compatible. And we've already seen some sort of development in this space where Brave itself can actually look up IPFS addresses, right? So you can head over to Brave and type in any EthoFS hash, and that content will be there. It's due. So previously that wouldn't work, right? So we had a closed IPFS network. Now we've opened it up wider. So you can look up your content through, Cloudflare gateways, IPFS official gateways, EthoFS gateways, and even now Brave.
Could you say that any more pleasant? What a nice summary. Nice job. Thanks. Hey, some more questions here live that I kind of dig. We've got a couple here, one by Rhoda Christian. I kind of addressed it. Can decentralized swap platforms be hosted by Etho Protocol? Yes, we could have Uniswap on us. Etho needs its own swap platform to trade decentralized. I guess that would be building our own decentralized swap for ourselves. I don't know how James, you look like you want to say something about that.
Well, so even broader than that, again, we are fully EVM compatible. So in absolutely anything that's live on Ethereum right now can also be deployed on Etho with the benefit of lower gas fees. Do I anticipate us deploying a Uniswap clone or some sort of decentralized swap? It's possible, and it's I would even say it's probable in the future if in fact partnerships continue to come in and deploy tokens and the desire to have that is there. So the way we kind of allocate resources and time is where we see the most adoption coming from, right? We're very efficient in utilizing what resources we have to facilitate that adoption. So if we start to see the adoption lane switch to where swapping protocols are going to be the next thing, then we will start to allocate that direction. But again, in summary, that We are fully EVM compatible, so all of that is completely possible with Etho.
All right, another question that I really like. This is kind of a business one because I got this the other day on one of our business development calls. Who are your big clients? And this is from Mike Harley. Hi, happy birthday. Thanks, Mike. We appreciate that. Multiple nodes deployed Etho Protocol. Who are the flagship clients actively hosting platform we use as reference to drive adoption? Well, the fact that everything is decentralized and everything is anonymous here. Our crypto you can mine, you can buy with anonymity. When you post your nodes, there's no KYC on our solution. We're completely decentralized. So we don't really know who's using our solution unless they tell us. Now, from my end in business development, we are looking to partner with others, as we talked about partnerships a lot today, of people that want to use our solution, that are excited to co-brand with us. So, and that's my responsibility, along with Alex is going to start helping me with that. So we hope to have some announcements and some press releases on partnerships. And actually, we've got a couple really cool ones in the hopper. And when those are up and running, there'll be a link and you'll be able to click on it and actually see the partner solution live. So, I guess that's kind of the funny thing about us being decentralized and having anonymity here is that we don't know who our customers are, right? And that's kind of a fun thing, but it makes it tough to go and co-brand unless they want to step up. But we are working with partnerships. Does anybody want to say anything about that, gentlemen?
I can maybe just say, even though we maybe not know who it is, I think if you go to this ethoprotocol.com to one of the dashboards, you can actually see the number of active contracts. And I think just in the last 24 hours, we went from 600 to 800 contracts. So I think that's a huge growth, right? I mean, it's like 30%. So I think that is, at least you can see that something is ongoing. And I think that's a good indication of, how our blockchain is getting facilitated.
Yeah, and hats off to Frank for doing that. He helped put that together. If you haven't seen it yet, did we add it yet to our homepage on the link to the homepage? Did Diley link it yet?
He put he committed this to the code. It'll be deployed later today. So
okay. If you go to info.ethoprotocol.com, you could see everything that's happening with us. You can see how many contracts, how many users, all sorts of stats on what we're doing. You can see the heartbeat of our progress there, coin price, all sorts of good stuff. And we're going to be adding other things to that. So I think even possibly measuring social network engagements. Is that correct, Frank?
Yes, that's in the pipe.
Frickin'
and if you
awesome.
have any proposals, just send them to the team here, or I think on the GitHub, you can actually request features.
Yeah, one thing about being decentralized in this project is our transparency, right? I mean, we thrive on being completely transparent. There's a question here that I want to take because I kind of helped draft this, and I had a Reddit user about a month ago really hit me hard on this. And it's two questions into one, and I'm going to talk about this because I think it's important. It says, do you have any plans for a decentralized, democratic way to deal with actual harmful and illegal content? Illicit films without consent of the person being filmed is a good example. Do you have a way to deal with the overreach of copyright holders? Decentralized manner, especially copyright holders of buy rights and rent for others seeking blah, 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 and legal things. So this is going to be our approach. First of all, we're going to engage the community with this, right? It isn't my decision or James or Exlo's or anybody's decision here. But what we want to do is, in the spirit of our decentralized and our community-based consensus, we had a proposal that we floated internally, and it was my responsibility to publish, and it hasn't, and I'll publish it here in the next week or two, that is a framework for a decentralized consensus-based mechanism by which we handle that, right? We don't want anybody here with the kill switch, because that's against the ethos of this project, is to have anybody here decide what you can and can't host. But at the same time, the reality is we have these questions that are given, is that we can't be completely censorship free. The internet can be a bad place. For example, child pornography. There's no human being on this earth that can defend that kind of behavior. And nobody here on this team does. However, somebody out there may decide to use that here, and we can't have that. We don't want something like that to poison this wonderful thing called Etho Protocol. So we have to deal with that as a reality. So we have a really good framework, which I think may be the first one ever deployed in the methodology that we think that may in itself be extraordinary technology, once again, adding value here, staying within our decentralized protocol and having a mechanism by which we handle that. And you will have that. We'll put out a press release on it. You can read it. It'll be on GitHub, and it will be open for your comments, and everybody could chime in. Again, completely transparent. It's not does not have all the answers, but we think it's a great place to get started. Would anybody like to chime in on that? Okay.
I mean, I'll just say that the whole idea of consensus-based moderation is a very difficult proposition, and the framework Chris is putting forward is I mean, it really takes into account all the different kind of variables that you got to account for when trying to moderate something based on majority consensus. So look, I encourage everybody to comment on it and tell us what they think and don't like and like about it, and the whole protocol will evolve from there.
Okay, we've got a quick question here from Felix Olson. He wants to know, Ethan, why don't you handle this, because you probably do it in your sleep. Are there any tools for creating Etho tokens on Etho?
Yeah, so there was originally one we deployed. I think we could make it even easier than what it was. So definitely, if it's something that we see, projects need, it's definitely something we'll work on and allocate time towards.
Okay. Another question.
I actually can comment. I wrote actually one of my first contributions here was a Medium article about how to generate a token. So just as long we have not the tools, I mean, just follow that one. It's fairly easy. So.
And remember, since everybody out there, since we are completely Ethereum compatible, what I did is I grabbed a token contract off of Open Zeppelin. You go there, it says create token. You copy and you paste it into the editor and you launch your token. I mean, I'm not a developer. I know enough just to be dangerous, but I launched my Chris token just grabbing a contract off of Open Zeppelin, which is a depository of Ethereum-based contracts, an ERC20 contract. It's pretty easy to do. We had another question here from Kate Moss. It says, are you afraid of stricter government regulations for privacy, anti-censorship related projects like yours are, which is Pirate, DVPN, which is Sentinel, Dash, in the future? Big Brother still wants to watch. Anybody want to take that?
I mean, I'll say a few things about it. So that whole line of questioning is absolutely right. With the advent of all these anti-censorship platforms, there's going to be governments that want to figure out how to watch, how to see what everybody's doing. So the only way for us to not necessarily combat that, but stay with our anti-censorship goals is to utilize protocols like Chris is going to put forward that utilize complete consensus. As long as we avoid putting any centralized failure points in the system, there's really no way to stop us. Consensus-based everything is how we stay true to what we're trying to do here.
Very well. We've got a couple more technical questions, and I really didn't want this AMA to be more technical. We had one or two just to talk about it because we are technology. So at this point, we've gone 45 minutes. I think the goal of this AMA, at least for me, was to get to know you, for you to see my face when you see this hash rates on these channels in the middle of the night. Who is this guy that's answering these questions? And to see Exlo and Frank and Ethan and Treehouse and the rest of our team. We want to do more of these. This was the first one, and I hope that you found it interesting. We talked about our team. We talked about maybe doing some closing comments. My closing comment is that Etho Protocol is about you. It's not about me. It's not about James. It's about the community. We need help. There was no pre-mine in this project. These people that started this, when Ethan was here, he didn't put 5 million Etho in his pocket when we opened the doors and they started, right? Everything he has, he earned, he bought, right? Or he mined. And the same with James. Everybody here, nobody got anything on day one. You had to earn it. And so you have a team here that's been working for 3 years, that's paid to work here, and they're no different than you. and we need engagement. And I know that things have been kind of quiet there the last year or two, but things are happening. Our platform is getting contract deployments. People are fired up about us. So my closing comment was, we need your engagement. Whatever you can do helps. If you want to come write code, come write code. If you want to do marketing, I need help. If you want to send out a tweet, we'll take it. If you just want to tell your friends, tell your friends. But community engagement for me is an important part of this. And once that starts rolling, it starts snowballing, it'll take on a life of its own. But our community is the most important asset we have. And so I would just ask you, reach out to any one of us if you want to get started. Ethan, you have any closing statements?
Absolutely. And just to build on what you said about community, I mean, Etho Protocol's docs are community contributed, majority of them. I mean, the team has written some, and there are some of the best documentation I think I've ever read of any project. I mean, if you want to learn how to deploy a website, anything like that, it's all covered in our documentation. If you want to, if you ever see any problems with the documentation or you get stuck anywhere, there's always someone available in the Discord to help you. And I think that speaks volumes about the project in itself.
Frank, any closing comments?
You mean I need to unmute? So I think when I came on board, right, I was trying to understand a little bit like, okay, where is this project going and so forth. And I think I realized after a while that really this team has a killer product. I think what is really important to bring that out, to make other people understand that. I think we have started going that way. We want to be very transparent and, also show what this project can do. So I think you can expect quite a lot in the coming future from us. And, it's cool to be part of it.
And everybody can be part of it. All right, I'm gonna have James go next because we have one question I am gonna pin Exlo with before he disappears here. So James, why don't you go ahead and give me your closing comment?
Well, the last couple of things I would say is this project doesn't exist without the team. We're teams. We have multiple teams, and the teams don't exist without everybody in the community contributing or reaching out to join the teams. And what's very unique about our project is that because everybody is here because they want to be here, we don't have a bunch of money to go out and hire high dollar developers. We've all been here from the start, and we're all here because we want to be here for the goals of anti-censorship. This project thrives in any type of market, bear market, bull market. Coin can be worth a fraction of a penny, could be worth $10. We will continue building because we are all here because we want to be. That is our motivation. And if anybody wants to become a part of it, be it coders, developers, just idea makers, reach out to the team, and we'll take you on for sure.
All right. Now, finally, there's one question that comes up repeatedly, probably 10 times a day, seems to come up more often on Telegram than others, but we're going to save this one for our man Exlo. And that is the question, when moon?
When is the next moon?
Yeah, when moon?
Hey, Google.
According to Old Farmer and #39, S Almanac, the next full moon will occur on Wednesday, May 26, 2021.
Oh, it's soon.
3 days.
All right. Well, for all those people out there on Telegram that want to know when moon, you just got it. It's May. I think you said May 29th. Is that correct?
26th.
26th. Very good. 3 days. Excellent. All right, everybody. Well, with that said, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up our first Etho Protocol Ask Me Anything AMA on our 3rd birthday. It was my pleasure to be part of this team and my pleasure to be able to host this. And I guess we'll wrap up. And on behalf of everybody at Etho Protocol, thanks for being part of our community. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends. Have a great day.